Hello, Quantifax family. Welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving deep into the life of one of the most controversial and talked about figures in modern history, Donald J. Trump. From his childhood to his rise as the 45th President of the United States, we'll cover it all. Stick around to the end for some surprising facts you might not know. Let's get started.
Donald Trump. You know the name, you know the hair. You probably have a strong opinion about him, one way or the other. He's been called everything from a successful businessman to a reality TV star to, well, let's just say not fit for office. But whatever you think of him, there's no denying that Donald J. Trump has left his mark on America. From his towering skyscrapers to his even taller pronouncements, Trump is an inescapable part of the American story. So buckle up, because we're about to take a wild ride through the life and times of one of the most consequential figures in modern history. Our story begins, as so many great American stories do, in New York City. June 14, 1946, a baby boy named Donald John Trump entered the world. His father, Fred Trump, was already a successful real estate developer. Young Donald grew up in wealth, attending private schools and enjoying a life of comfort most could only dream of. But was this silver spoon upbringing the making of a tycoon? Or did it sow the seeds of a man who would always demand to be the center of attention? Even as a child, Trump showed a flair for the dramatic and a knack for pushing boundaries. Some might say he was always a natural showman. Others might say he was a bit of a bully. Maybe he was a bit of both. Either way, young Donald was learning early on how to make a splash and get what he wanted. At 13, Trump was sent to the New York Military Academy. His father hoped the strict discipline would rein in the young Donald's more rambunctious tendencies. Trump excelled in some areas, even becoming a star athlete. But the question remains, did military school instill in him a sense of duty and discipline? Or did it simply teach him how to impose his will on others? After graduating, Trump attended Fordham University before transferring to the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania. He graduated with a degree in economics in 1968, ready to make his mark on the world, Trump style. But the most important lessons he learned might not have been in the classroom. He was already absorbing the art of the deal, the language of money, and the power of persuasion from his father's business dealings. Trump joined his father's company, learning the ropes of real estate development. But Trump wasn't content to simply follow in his father's footsteps. He had bigger, bolder, some might say gaudier, ambitions. He set his sights on Manhattan, determined to conquer the city that never sleeps and put the Trump name in lights. And conquer he did, at least for a while. He renovated old buildings, erected skyscrapers, and slapped his name on everything he could. The Grand Hyatt Hotel, Trump Tower, casinos in Atlantic City. Trump was everywhere, building an empire of glass, gold, and let's be honest, a fair amount of debt. But for every success, there were setbacks. Multiple bankruptcies, failed businesses, lawsuits, and accusations of shady dealings followed Trump throughout his career. Was he a brilliant businessman, a master of manipulating the system to his advantage? Or was he a reckless gambler, leaving a trail of broken promises and financial ruin in his wake? The truth, as with most things Trump, is probably somewhere in between. Section 5. 3 weddings, 5 children, and countless headlines. Trump's personal life has been just as tumultuous as his business dealings. He's been married 3 times, first to Ivana Zelnichkova, then to Marla Maples, and currently to Melania Knauss. Each marriage brought its own share of tabloid fodder, from lavish weddings to very public divorces. Through it all, Trump has maintained a complicated relationship with the media. He craves attention, courting the press even as he criticizes it relentlessly. He's a master of self-promotion, using his larger-than-life personality to stay in the spotlight, no matter the cost. Section 6. From reality TV to reality in the Oval Office. In the 2000s, Trump's star power reached new heights with the reality show The Apprentice. Millions tuned in to watch him fire contestants with his signature catchphrase, "You're fired." The show cemented his image as a successful businessman and a no-nonsense leader, an image he would later leverage in his pursuit of the presidency. Few could have predicted what came next. In 2015, Trump announced his candidacy for President of the United States. His campaign was unconventional, to say the least. He tapped into a vein of anger and resentment among many Americans, promising to make America great again. He broke all the rules of politics, insulting opponents, making outrageous promises, and tweeting relentlessly. The world watched in disbelief as he defied all expectations, winning the Republican nomination and then, against all odds, the presidency. On January 20th, 2017, Donald J. Trump was sworn in as the 45th President of the United States. It was a moment that would change America and the world forever. Section 7. Making America Great Again? The Policies and the Pushback. Trump's presidency was marked by a series of controversial policies and pronouncements. He withdrew the United States from the Trans-Pacific Partnership Trade Agreement, imposed tariffs on goods from China, and enacted a travel ban on citizens from several Muslim-majority countries. He appointed 2 conservative justices to the Supreme Court, Neil Gorsuch and Brett Kavanaugh, tilting the balance of the court for years to come. His supporters praised him for his bold leadership and his commitment to putting America first. They applauded his tax cuts, his deregulation efforts, and his tough stance on immigration. But his critics saw him as a dangerous demagogue, a threat to democracy and the rule of law. They pointed to his divisive rhetoric, his attacks on the media and his political opponents, and his cozy relationships with authoritarian leaders like Vladimir Putin. Love him or hate him, there's no denying that Trump's presidency was anything but boring. Every day brought a new controversy, a new tweet storm, a new reason to either cheer or despair. Section 8. Impeachment, Insurrection, and the Indelible Mark. Trump's presidency reached a boiling point in 2020. The COVID-19 pandemic exposed deep divisions in American society, and Trump's handling of the crisis was widely criticized. His downplaying of the virus, his promotion of unproven treatments, and his attacks on public health experts further polarized the country. Then came the 2020 presidential election. Trump lost to Joe Biden, but he refused to concede, making baseless claims of widespread voter fraud. His rhetoric incited his supporters, culminating in the attack on the U.S. Capitol on January 6, 2021. The insurrection shocked the nation and the world, a dark day for American democracy. Trump's actions led to his second impeachment by the House of Representatives, making him the only U.S. president to be impeached twice. He was acquitted by the Senate, but the stain of January 6th remained. Section 9. Trump. After the White House, a force still to be reckoned with, Trump left office under a cloud of controversy, but he remained a powerful force in American politics. He continued to hold rallies, endorse candidates, and spread his message through his own social media platform, Truth Social. His supporters remained loyal, viewing him as a victim of a deep state conspiracy. They embraced his claims of a stolen election and eagerly awaited his return to power. But his critics argued that Trump remained a threat to American democracy, a demagogue who would stop at nothing to regain power. The question remained, would Trump run for president again in 2024? Section 10. Love him or hate him, Trump's America is here to stay. Donald Trump's legacy is complex and contested. He shattered political norms, exposed deep divisions in American society, and left an indelible mark on the presidency. His supporters view him as a hero, a champion of the forgotten man who spoke truth to power. His critics see him as a villain, a dangerous narcissist who undermined American democracy. Only time will tell how history will judge Donald J. Trump. But one thing is certain: his impact on America will be felt for generations to come. He tapped into something deep in the American psyche, a potent mix of anger, resentment, and longing for a bygone era. Whether you agree with his policies or not, there's no denying that Trump changed the face of American politics. Love him or hate him, Trump's America is here to stay.